We all feel it. Things are getting more expensive, and it's not just the price of things that's having an impact on how we are all feeling. Listen to this. A recent CBS News poll found that 83% of Americans say it's harder to buy a home than it was for previous generations. Don't we know it, Vlad? And 77% say it's harder to raise a family. That too, Vlad. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
But Americans are also more lonely. The American Psychological Association says more than half of American adults report feeling isolated, left out, and a lack of companionship. Our next guest is looking at a potential source. Let's bring in CBS News contributor Roland Fryer. He is also a professor of economics at Harvard University. Professor, so you are pointing to how we consume the things around us online as a source of this loneliness, because we've done a lot of reporting on social media being the culprit here, but you say that online shopping is a driver?
Well, not online shopping only. It's that we've had a war on friction. And
a war on friction.
Sometimes, and look, I am the world's...
What does that mean?
I'm the world's worst. I used to go to the grocery store. Not anymore. I have the groceries delivered. I used to go out to eat. Not anymore. I have the food delivered. I used to go to the gym. Not anymore. I'm on the Peloton. And so we've eliminated a lot of the inconveniences, which is great. But in doing so, the places where we made friends, where we had idle time, where we had moments that were low stakes, where we interacted with people, those have gone away as a byproduct.
Even in the case of work, we have moved to a remote work situation here in this country, which I understand for a lot of people is great. My wife is remote generally when she's not the lead producer on the broadcast that she works on, but it does mean that you don't interact with people a lot. And even when people are working, I've had situations where people say, well, can I do a Zoom with you? And I'm like, it would just be nice to have, we can do this in 10 minutes.
I'm down the hall.
I'm down the hall. We can do this in 10 minutes as opposed to doing it on a Zoom.
Yes.
And I do wonder if that is creating a situation where we are out of practice. What you see on social media is not real. You see people using language that they wouldn't use in real life with people.
Yes.
And they think that that's the way we should be. When in reality, I watch my 3-year-old on the playground. She's making friends. There are things that are happening that are a cause of friction for her that she comes crying to me about. You know, that little world that I watch every day when I pick her up, I'm like, we used to do that as adults.
Yes.
But we don't anymore.
That's it. And I think that's the issue. If I look over the last couple of years of my own life, and I think, where did I make the most new friends? It were all places of inconvenience. You know, the sideline of my kids' soccer games. I have to be there 45 minutes early. I don't love it. And in fact, I have to admit, I brought my laptop for the first time.
Wow, you were that guy, Professor. They're like, he's just at Harvard. He gets a pass.
Yeah. And these people kept interrupting me.
And you're like...
And I stopped.
Yes. You're like, yes?
Yes. But that is the key. We make friends in situations where we have repeated close proximity, and we can build trust without that being the goal. That's why there's no market for friendship, because you can't go, let me go buy trust.
Yes, it's so true. Where that is not the goal is so key, because there's no, like, you're not like on a blind date to try to make a friend, which people do, right? And sometimes that works. But this has happened to me with my daughter's ballet class. Suddenly, all the moms in the waiting room, we've all become friends.
Right.
We now have a text chat.
That's right.
I got so excited. Someone changed the icon to ballet slippers. Like, now we text about other things. But my question to you, Professor, is, when we are doing things that are inconvenient, like I don't make friends at the grocery store. I won't make friends if I go on a run instead of using my Peloton, which I don't use anyway at home. Like, is there still a value in being out and seeing other people, bumping into them, saying thank you at the checkout line? You know, because that doesn't really build real connection, or does it?
Well, that's the rub. Some inconveniences are truly just inconvenient. When I get delayed a couple of hours on a plane, I don't make new friends.
At the gate, right.
The key is repetition. Are these places where you will see the same types of people over and over again? Those are the inconveniences you want to be careful not to make too efficient.
I want to ask, Professor, because you're an economist, and there's something that we haven't really talked about, but we should at least highlight, which is all of these things are just another attempt at, because we live in a capitalist society, an attempt to separate us from our money. What I mean by that is, it's easy to online shop and drop $1,000 over the course of a week, buying a lot of crap you don't need on Amazon, as opposed to if you had to go to the store to buy those things, you would be a little bit more judicious, not only in the number of packages you come home
Especially
with.
if it's cash, if it wasn't as convenient as a credit card.
Right. So
Yeah.
there is an economic factor here at play, which is these companies want us isolated because when we're isolated, I buy video games online and I play them alone in my house. I buy everything. You see where I'm going?
I do. I mean, this is why you don't get a lot of ads when you're in the checkout pipeline on some of these consumer apps, right? They've made it really efficient to spend money. I agree. That the key here is in doing so with all the online shopping, et cetera. You just don't randomly meet people in places, and we wonder when we get older, why do we make so many more friends when we were younger? Because when we were younger, we were more patient. We put ourselves in positions to actually have idle time. And look, I'm all for efficiency, but we have to be careful as we use technology, in particular AI, to transform our lives and get rid of all the friction. Let's not take away that social infrastructure that we built up that is the cause of happiness and friendship. Look, loneliness actually really translates into disease. I mean, the research shows that
it affects the body.
It affects the body. It's the equivalent of smoking. And so we have to be real. This is not something to look past.
Professor, thank you so much.
Really
I am fired up and ready to go shopping.
Let's go. Let's do it.
In the store.